Did you know that when we go into the New Jerusalem that descends out of the heavens to the earth after the millennial reign on earth with Yeshua, that the 12 gates are labeled with the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel? Did you know that God never replaced Israel with the, quote, modern church? Let's take a look. In Jeremiah 31, we see that the new covenant is made with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Again, he says it right here. He makes it with the house of Israel. Didn't cast him away. Hebrews 8 quotes the same thing and says that the new covenant is made with the house of Israel. Well, here's the new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Again, clarifying it's made with the house of Israel. And right here in Romans 11, Paul says, has God cast away his people? Certainly not. Paul's an Israelite. All the first disciples were Israelites. They were Jewish from the southern kingdom of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. God has not cast away his people. Not at all. Let's keep looking. Right here in Romans 11, Paul tells us that the Gentiles are grafted into the same olive tree that the branches were cut off of. So there's not a new tree when the Gentiles came. Then he also goes on to say that this blindness to the southern kingdom of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, has happened in part until this mystery happens, which is called the fullness of the Gentiles, the returning of the tribes of Israel. Let's look at that. We see right here in Genesis 48, but Jacob refused and said, I know, my son, I know he also, talking about Manasseh, shall become a great people, and he also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his descendants shall become a multitude of nations. That's the word fullness of the Gentiles. Let's look. Did you even know this? This is so cool. If you look in the Hebrew here, it says Melo Hagoyim. Melo means fullness of the Gentiles. Let's look. Okay, so right here we look that word Melo is fullness, the fullness of the Gentiles. Do you understand that Paul, when he wrote Romans, Paul was reading the Hebrew text because Paul was a Jew. So he knew what the Hebrew text read. He didn't read it translated in English. So he understood when he read Genesis 48, he was reading Melo Hagogim. He knew that he was saying the fullness of the Gentiles. He understood the prophecy. Let's go back. Let's look. The prophecy, remember the mystery. What was the mystery? The blindness has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles had come in. Do you understand that at the Feast of Pentecost was the first fruits of the return of the 10 northern tribes of Israel who had been scattered, right? All Israel would be saved. Remember, the 10 northern tribes were scattered by Tiglath-Pileser in 730 BC. The tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were all that remained when Yeshua was on earth because they had gone to Babylon for 70 years and come back. Remember, Judah kept his identity. Let's look at one more place. See, Jeremiah 31 had already told us if you can measure the heavens and the foundations of the earth, all the seed of Israel could be cast off. But you can't. So if you don't understand who Israel is, you'll never understand the Bible. Do you want to know? You're Israel if you're grafted in, whether you're a Gentile or a believing Israelite who's returned.